All in all, we came up short. We on both sides of the ball and special teams, we had a few mistakes, and that ends up costing you against a good football team.
Talk about a roller coaster of emotions. First up, Travis Kelce's NFL future is teetering on the edge after the Chiefs' shocking playoff miss, leaving fans and insiders scrambling to figure out if the tight end is calling it quits sooner rather than later. Next, Andy Reid keeps it brutally real in his post-game press conference, admitting the team dropped the ball, literally and figuratively, and stressing that better execution is the only way out of this mess.
They battled. It wasn't for a lack of effort or battling. Just had some mistakes.
And then there's Kelce himself, walking off the field visibly shaken, processing not just a lost season, but a potential career crossroads alongside Patrick Mahomes, whose own future is now uncertain after a nasty knee injury. And finally, amidst all the chaos, Taylor Swift steps in like the ultimate aunt, entertaining Kelce's nieces at Arrowhead and proving that sometimes the real MVP show up off the field. The Chiefs are officially in unfamiliar, uncomfortable territory, and no one is feeling it more than Travis Kelce. This season doesn't end with confetti or another deep playoff run. It ends with silence, side eyes, and a whole lot of wait what now vibes. For the first time in the Patrick Mahomes era, the Chiefs missed the playoffs entirely, and that alone feels illegal. Add a humiliating home loss to the Chargers, and Mahomes going down with a devastating knee injury, and suddenly the whole dynasty aura evaporates like a dropped pass in the cold. This latest collapse has put Kelce's NFL future straight into the danger zone, and retirement whispers are no longer whispers. They're basically being yelled from the cheap seats. Kelce had already been flirting with the idea of walking away, and that wasn't exactly a secret. After the Super Bowl loss to the Eagles earlier this year, he was reportedly deep in his feelings, seriously weighing whether it was time to hang it up. Now, with Mahomes sidelined long-term and the Chiefs staring at an awkward reset instead of a reload, sources say Kelce is asking himself the big, brutal question: why come back? Fans online wasted zero time connecting the dots, predicting the end of an era and assuming Kelce wouldn't stick around with his quarterback partner in crime. The general mood online is pure doom scrolling, with people convinced that if Mahomes isn't under center next year, Kelce won't be either. Just last month, Kelce was still talking like a guy keeping his options open, saying he wanted to give the Chiefs clarity before draft season and free agency so the front office could plan properly. That was before Mahomes' ACL injury blew everything up. Now, the timeline may be speeding up fast, with Kelce potentially deciding sooner rather than later. At this point, it's less about contracts and more about legacy, health, and whether grinding through another season without his franchise quarterback is worth it. And as that uncertainty hangs heavy in the air, Andy Reid steps up to the mic with the energy of a dad who just watched his favorite grill tip over mid-barbecue. The vibes are cold, the stadium is quiet, and for the first time in forever, Kansas City is officially shopping for postseason plans that do not involve football. The moment hits differently because this isn't just a loss, it's the loss that slams the playoff door shut and locks it. Arrowhead, usually a house of chaos and confidence, turns into a winter therapy session after a 16-13 stumble against the Chargers, and everyone knows it. Reid keeps it blunt, no fluff, no motivational poster quotes, just straight talk. Sources say he acknowledges the locker room mood is exactly what you'd expect after fumbling away a must-win game, with players mentally replaying every mistake on loop.
Yeah, the guys are down. They busted their butt to win the game, and I wouldn't expect anything less. It's not a great feeling. I wouldn't expect it to be after losing a game.
He makes it clear the effort wasn't the problem because the guys fought, but effort without execution is basically running on a treadmill and wondering why you're not getting anywhere.
They battled. It wasn't for a lack of effort or battling. Just had some mistakes. It cost us.
Kansas City drops to 6-8, officially out of the race for the first time since flip phones were still a thing, which feels wrong on a cosmic level. The coach points the finger inward, owning the mess like a seasoned leader who knows excuses don't move the chains. Missed chances in the red zone, sloppy field position, special teams not flipping the script, defensive lapses at the worst moments. It's a greatest hits album of what not to do when your season is on the line. Reid makes it known that these breakdowns aren't just player errors, they're his responsibility too, and accountability lands heavy but honest.
You get opportunities in the red zone, more field position, you got to take advantage of that. If it's special teams, we got to create field position, and then defensively, we've got to maintain it. And so, in those cases, we weren't quite good enough in all three phases. And again, that's my responsibility to make sure that you don't have these kind of mistakes. And so,
the game itself is a slow burn disaster. The Chiefs start strong, looking sharp on the opening drive, then immediately forget how to sustain momentum. Drives stall, punts pile up, and field goals replace touchdowns like they're trying to win on a coupon system. The second half, absolute tumbleweeds, 0 points. The night somehow still finds a way to get heavier because as the stadium empties and the noise dies down, Travis Kelce walks off the field looking like a guy who just realized the party might actually be over. The moment hits hard in real time, not in a dramatic movie-style collapse, but in that quiet, chest-tight way where emotions sneak up on you when you least want them to. Kelce heads toward the Arrowhead tunnel visibly shaken, brushing past the usual post-game chaos, and when kids reach out for autographs and photos, he gently waves them off with a not-now energy that feels painfully human. This isn't diva behavior, it's heartbreak in shoulder pads. The weight of the moment is massive because this isn't just another tough loss stacked onto a long career highlight reel. This one officially knocks the Chiefs out of playoff contention, and worse, it happens on the same day Patrick Mahomes goes down with a brutal knee injury. Watching his quarterback and closest football ally get helped off the field is like watching the floor drop out from under everything familiar. For Kelce, this season already feels like emotional whiplash, and this game cranks it up to 11. The back-to-back-to-back Super Bowl run now feels like a different lifetime, replaced by the reality that nothing is guaranteed, not even relevance. It doesn't help that the past couple of weeks have been a rough mental grind. Kelce has been carrying frustration after a costly mistake in the previous game against Houston, where a bobbled catch turns into an interception and basically nukes any late-game heroics. That moment lingers because tight ends remember everything, especially the ones they wish they could replay in slow motion and erase. Coming into the Chargers game, the pressure is sky high, the margin for error microscopic, and every bounce that needs to go right instead goes the football god's favorite direction, not Kansas City. For Kelce, the emotional weight is layered. This marks the first time he's missing the playoffs since 2014, back when Alex Smith was running the offense and Kelce was still early in his career, figuring out who he was in this league. Fast forward more than a decade, and he's now a future Hall of Famer staring down the end of an era that defined not just the Chiefs, but the entire NFL. That's why he skips talking to reporters after the game, offering a quick later this week vibe before disappearing into the locker room. Sometimes silence says more than any post-game soundbite ever could. Behind the scenes, retirement talk bubbles back up immediately. Kelce is 36, in the final year of his contract, and already deep into conversations about life after football. He's genuinely planned to wait until after the season to decide, wanting to give the front office clarity before draft picks and free agency kicked off. That was the plan. Then Mahomes' ACL tear enters the chat and flips the table. Suddenly the timeline feels different, faster, more urgent. Nobody knows how cautious the Chiefs will be with Mahomes' recovery, how long he'll be sidelined, or what version of the offense exists without him at full strength. The uncertainty hits harder because Kelce and Mahomes aren't just teammates, they're one of the most productive duos in league history. Over 700 connections, more than 8,000 yards, 120-plus touchdowns, and 3 Super Bowl rings later, they've basically been finishing each other's sentences in cleats. The idea of that partnership quietly ending due to injury instead of choice feels unfair, even by NFL standards. Mahomes is already projecting confidence about coming back stronger, but football math doesn't lie. Rehabs take time, and age waits for nobody. Adding another layer to the emotional soup, Kelce is also navigating a major life moment off the field, preparing to marry Taylor Swift while his football future hangs in the balance. It's a strange emotional crossover, juggling wedding plans with playoff elimination and career-defining questions. One chapter is opening, while another might be closing, and that's enough to make anyone feel unsteady, even someone built like a tank. Naturally, the scene shifts to the other MVP of the night, Taylor Swift, casually proving she can handle football drama with the same ease she handles chart-topping hits. She wasn't just watching from the safety of a box seat, she was in full aunt mode, wrangling Kelce's nieces while the Chiefs floundered on the field. Picture it, the team's playoff dreams evaporating in real time, and there's Swift hoisting kids onto her shoulder, laughing like it's recess and the NFL scoreboard doesn't exist. Her patience and charisma probably could coach a team better than half the playbook. Fans and social media quickly noted that Aunt Taylor was fully engaged with the Kelce clan, turning what could have been a tense, silent box into a mini-party. She was constantly moving, picking up kids, walking them around, and just generally being the fun, warm chaos everyone needs after a 16-13 gut punch of a loss. Her presence apparently reminded everyone that sometimes family and laughter can be the ultimate halftime show. People online were all over it, with one person summing it up as Aunt Tay reporting for duty because she literally made the nieces the center of her Sunday strategy while the NFL heartbreak unfolded below. This isn't Swift's first rodeo in the Arrowhead stands. She's been showing up consistently all season, a quiet force of support for Kelce and the Chiefs, blending into family moments and football drama. But with the playoffs gone and one more home game left this season, insiders speculate this could be the penultimate time we see her in the box, keeping the nieces entertained while the team tries to salvage some pride against whoever shows up next. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.